We call this workout the WundaBooty, but you know that the Wunda means we're gonna get you head to toe anyways. So let's get started. We're gonna begin with a plank on furniture sliders if you have them. So take your hands onto the floor about shoulder width distance and 1 foot at a time onto your sliders. If you don't have the sliders, you can do a step out. If you do have the sliders, we're going to glide the right leg out to the side and exhale, bring it back through center. Inhale, left leg comes out through the side. Exhale, back through center. So we're going to continue working with the sliders going in and out, or you can take a natural step out to the side of your mat as you're holding that plank. We want to make sure we're finding a lot of connection through the middle back. I like to think about lifting my heart up in between the shoulder blades and broadening between the shoulder blades as we work. Last time to the left, all the way through center, and both knees go back down to the floor. We're gonna go into some wide plies on our mat now. So come into a wide standing position, toes are turned out, and you can start with your hands on your hips. Make sure that as we lower down, you keep the shoulders stacked over your hips, and exhale as the knees soften. That's an exhale to lower down, inhale as we bring it up. One more time, we're gonna exhale as we lower down, knees stay aligned with big toe, second toe. Inhale as you rise up. We're gonna exhale as the left heel peels up and we lower into that plie. Inhale as you rise. Now we're gonna switch to the right heel again, exhaling as we lower down. Inhaling to come up. Go ahead and think about extra cardiovascular effort, sending the arms outbound to the side as you lower down, and we're just gonna hold them out, challenging isometrically, exhaling down. Right heel now is picking up, inhaling as you rise. Let's do 2 more on either side here. Thinking about the sitting bones broaden as we lower down, and they're narrowing on the way up. So that's the base of your core, the base of the pelvis is really helping you to activate through the entire body. Exhaling as we lower. Inhale, lifting ribs off the pelvis to rise. This is the last one. And come all the way up, bring both arms down. We're gonna use one furniture slider now, if you have it, and we are going to take the left foot onto the slider, the right foot comes onto the mat. And we are going to keep both legs straight at the top, hips shining straight forward, hands on the hips to start with. We're gonna exhale as we bow the torso forward and glide the left leg back. Keeping the right knee aligned, big toe, second toe, and the left knee as well. Inhaling as we scissor the upper inner thighs to narrow and bring it up. Exhaling as we lower down. Inhaling as we bring it up. To continue with that challenge and work on the arms as well, we're going to ask the left arm to come up and around as we lower into that lunge, and then we're going to rise up. So again, the same breath pattern. We're gonna exhale as we lower down, plug the arm into the middle back as it rotates around, and inhale as we gather to rise up. Let's do one more with the arm circle. Exhaling to lower, finding length in the spine, holding here. So we want to really find that arm in line with the ear and plug that shoulder blade down into the middle back. We're going to breathe for an isometric challenge for 4, 3, 2, and inhale, rise all the way up. Keeping the feet where they are, we're going to go into a skater. So the left foot stays on the slider and the right foot stays on the mat, but we're gonna swivel the inner thighs forward to connect to the glute med all the way up to the waistline. And now just the right knee bends again. This time it's gonna go outbound to the side as the left leg glides to the side as well. Both inner thighs are spiraling forward, the torso bows forward. That's an exhale down, inhale to bring it up. Exhale as you lower down, keeping that right knee aligned, big toe, second toe. It's a little bit harder to find that organization and turnout. Inhale as you float up, looking for ease and lightness and looking for less weight in the left foot. Receive that weight into your core as you're burning out that right glute, glute med, hamstring, and quads. We can add a little arm extension with the arms long behind us as we exhale and bow forward, finding a tricep focus. Inhaling as we rise. Let's do 2 more just like that. As Megan's showing us, it's not about reaching the arms high, it's about reaching the arms long. So you want to aim for length rather than height or distance. Go ahead and bring the next one down. Final isometric challenge for 4. We're thinking about the heart dropping down towards the tailbone. Good. Last 3, navel up and in towards the middle back. Last 2. And inhale, bring it all the way up and in. Okay. From here, guys, we're gonna go into a forearm donkey bend and extend. So we're gonna bring our forearms down onto the mat, and we're gonna take the right foot up into a bent position with the foot flexed. So the right foot is gonna look like this, almost as if we could stamp the sole of our foot on the ceiling. Collarbones are wide, ribs are in line with the pelvis. The foot is flexed at the top, and now I'm going to ask you to extend the leg long and open the front side of your right ankle. That's an inhale. Exhale as we draw it back to start. Try not to let the knee lower and raise, but we only need to keep the knee as high as we can without shortening or feeling any tension in the low back. So if for you, that means your knee is down here while you're doing that bend and extend, that works just fine too. We want to find that connection to the back line of the body while we're maintaining an organized core. Inhaling to send the leg long, exhaling to bring it back in. Gorgeous. We're finding that connection through the middle back, sending breath in between the shoulder blades. Every inhale broadens the collarbones. And if we bring that knee in towards the midline of the body a little tiny bit, you'll feel that inner thigh. You see her start to shake. We'll feel that inner thigh and core connection immediately. Let's hold this last one in the donkey for 3, for 2, and go ahead and bring the knee all the way down. All right. We're going to come onto our left forearm and go into some side lying jumps. So we're going to mimic what we do on the jump board in the studio. Left forearm goes down, left knee is bent, and we're going to float up so that the left hip is off of the floor. We're going to float the right leg up and off of the mat, and then in external rotation so that inner thigh spirals forward. Now we're going to exhale as that leg draws in, pelvis doesn't move. Inhale as you lengthen it out. Exhale as you draw it in, inner thigh spirals forward. Think about the bottom ribs lifting rather than hanging towards the floor. Inhale as you extend. We can pick up the pace. Exhale to bend, inhale to extend, exhale to bend, inhale, extend, keeping the quality of movement even when we pick up the pace, really increasing the cardio effort, finding the glute med in that external rotation. Let's hold the next one all the way out. We're gonna hold it out. We're going to rotate internally, so now you'll really feel that glute med light up, and we're gonna do a little lift here. 4, 3, lift the bottom ribs up. Last 2, and last 1, bring the leg all the way down. Okay, we're gonna go into some supine scissors. So we're gonna lay on our backs, and we're gonna set our head all the way down onto the mat. From here, the arms float up towards the sky, and then the left hand comes behind the calf, and the right hand comes behind the inner thigh. The right leg extends long, head, neck, and shoulders have peeled up off of the floor. We're gonna inhale and switch legs. Exhale through center, inhale, the opposite leg comes up. So you can continue alternating. It's irrelevant how high your hand goes or how far you draw your leg in. We don't want to yank on it or tug it. We want to really find a good stretch through the back side of the body, because this is a kind of a counterbalance to what we're doing for all this glute intensive work on this workout. So we want to find that length and reach, extending the body, working in length while we are also toning and sculpting the glutes. Let's do one more on either side, one more on the left, last one on the right. And go ahead and bring both knees down and head down to the floor. All right, we're gonna go into some pike squats now. Again, this is about activating through the back line of the body while we're adding length at the same time. So hands come wide onto your mat, shoulder width. Step your feet back 4 inches apart, parallel, holding a plank position. We're gonna inhale, lengthening up and back, up into a pike pose. Your heels are melting down as far as you can. And from here, without lowering our hips at all, we are going to bend the knees only as far as you can without really changing your heels or your hips. You can see that we're shaking straight away. That's also because it's a fascial floss. So from here, we're gonna lengthen the legs out on an inhale, exhale as we soften the knees. Inhale as we extend, reaching the tailbone long from crown of head, and making sure that your head is in line with the spine. So if you're looking at the computer screen right now, go ahead and look right back down at your mat, making sure we have a long spine the whole time. You can think about a seatbelt like you might find on an airplane, drawing up and back under the hips to find even more extension and length in the spine as you work. Last 2, beautiful job. Exhale to bend, booty doesn't drop. Inhale to extend, this is the last one. And bring the knees all the way down. One of my favorite exercises is a rolling plank, but we're gonna layer onto it today to add a little more glute focus. Hands come wide onto your mat. Step your feet back 4 inches apart, parallel as they just were. We're going to tip the pelvis and the heels to the left. We're now squarely on the left side of the foot. We're gonna float the right arm up, and now the right leg comes up for a lift as well. Bring the right foot back down to the mat, right hand comes down. Now we tip the pelvis and the heels to the right, left arm floats up, and left leg follows. Bring the left leg back through center, and we're gonna take the opposite side again. So as Megan works through this, we're gonna find lots of lift and connection through the middle back. As we're holding on a single hand, it can be really easy to kind of lock into that elbow joint. We wanna make sure we find breath in the elbow, and that's gonna help us connect to the middle back. So we wanna see if we can find as much space as we can between the shoulder blades, which is really tough when we roll side to side, but we wanna see if we can find a little breath in the elbow to find that connection and strength through the middle back. Come back through center, hold here, and draw both knees back down to the floor. All right. Let's go ahead and come onto our backs. We're gonna go into a marching bridge. And we are going to have our arms long into the mat, and we are going to recruit the glutes to send our pelvis up into the top of a bridge. So now we're up at the top of our bridge, arms are active in the floor, recruiting the middle back, and the glutes are sending the pelvis up into that bridge position to support the hamstrings. From here, we are going to visualize the right psoas muscle. That's a suspender alongside the spine on the front side of the spine. It's talking to the right inner thigh. And we are gonna exhale and ask that right leg to pick up into a 90-degree bend. Now we're only on the left leg, left glutes and hamstrings working like crazy. Set the right foot down, keeping the knee bend the same the whole time. Left psoas talks to the left inner thigh. Pick that leg up and set it back down. So we're keeping the knee bend the same. We're trying to keep the pelvis as quiet as possible as we alternate sides. Right foot goes back down. Left foot comes up. And bring it back down again to the right. Really recruiting the arms and the middle back to stabilize you as you give yourself a really narrow base on either side as we're changing the legs. Beautiful. Allow the femur head to sink deeply into the pelvis as you bring the leg up. Gorgeous. One more time on the right. Keeping the hips raised, thinking about recruiting those glutes to send that pelvis up. Bring the foot down, and with control, we're gonna hinge and lower all the way down to the floor. All right, let's go ahead and get into a shallow ab curl. So we're gonna stay on your back here. We're gonna float the fingers up to the sky, interlacing the hands under the base of your skull with your elbows wide, but you wanna be able to see them from the corners of the eyes. Come into a shallow abdominal curl. So the shoulder blades are off of the mat, if you can achieve that today. And we're gonna float both legs up into tabletop position. From there, we're gonna remember that little donkey extension we did, and we're gonna ask both legs to float up towards the sky. I don't care if they're straight up towards the sky, we just want the legs long. Swivel into first position, heels are gonna touch, toes are gonna turn out. And then we're gonna crisscross the upper inner thighs, one over the other, to send the legs down to about a 45-degree angle. And then we're gonna crisscross them to bring them back up to the top of your range of movement. So it's the upper inner thighs doing the crisscross. I want that effort to be closer to the glutes and the deep abdominals rather than thinking about the ankles or the feet crossing. It's gonna give us more core effort as we work. If you have a sensitive low back, pay attention to how low you allow the legs to go. And you can also do what Megan's showing here, where there's a soft bend to the knees. Shortening the lever takes a lot of the pressure off of the low back. And does that feel a little bit nicer? But it's still intense core work. So you can get the same focus even while you have a soft bend to those knees. And let's go ahead and bring the legs all the way back up to the top, bend the knees, and lower all the way to the floor. Okay, let's get into those side jumps on the other side. So we're gonna take our right forearm onto the mat, and our right knee is bent and down below us. We're going to lift the hip up off of the floor, lengthen the left leg so much so that it floats up and off of the floor, and swivel the inner thigh forward into external rotation. Keeping the hips stacked, exhale as we soften the knee and draw the leg in. Inhale as we extend the leg long back to start. So we're in external rotation the whole time, but we're finding that connection through the core and the leg and the glutes as we work. So we want to keep the hips stacked, one right on top of the other. That's not easy to do when we're in external rotation and we're floating that leg in and out. We're reaching with length on an inhale, exhaling as we lower. We want to think about the bottom ribs lifting up. That's going to give us deeper core connection. Let's hold this next one out. Hold this next one out, lifting off of the right shoulder. Gorgeous. Swivel the inner thigh forward now. So now we're in internal, and we're going to do a side lift Really targeting through that lateral line of the body all the way up to the glute med. Last 2. And bring it all the way down. Beautiful. All right, let's go into that donkey extension. We're gonna bring our forearms down onto the mat. Knees are 4 inches apart parallel. And straight away, let's take that left knee up into a 90-degree bend, and we're gonna flex that left foot. From here, guys, we wanna check in with our body. It can be real easy when we float the foot up to allow it to go into external rotation. We want that big toe, second toe aligned with our kneecap, even when we're upside down towards the sky. On the inhale, we're gonna think about the kneecap absorbing into the quadriceps as the hamstrings work with the abs to extend the leg. On the exhale, we're gonna bring it back into the starting position. So really think about the quadriceps absorbing up towards the abdominals as we extend the leg and bring it back in. You notice I'm helping guide Megan because it really is tough to keep that foot organized. So don't worry if you're struggling with that alignment here. And notice that I'm also helping her keep her knee in the same height as she bends and extends. One last little thing, I'm gonna ask her to bring her knee in towards the midline of the body to really find that core connection to the inner thigh. Let's do 2 more, Megan. Exhaling as we flex the foot and draw it in. Inhaling as we extend, and go ahead and bring the knee all the way down to the mat. Next, we're gonna go into the skater on the left. So the left foot is gonna stand on your mat in turnout, and your right foot is going to be on your slider also in turnout, the ball of the right foot. Hands can come onto the hips, and we are going to exhale as we bow forward. The right leg remains long. Draw the navel up and in rather than letting the abdominals spill forward. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, we're gonna find that right sitting bone broadening as the knee aligns big toe, second toe. Inhale as we float all the way up. Really trying to share the effort with both legs without loading too much weight onto that slider. Inhale as we rise. Exhaling as we lower down. We're gonna do 2 more and go into that lunge with the arm rotation. Inhale as we come up. This is the last one. Exhaling as we lower down. Inhale as we float back to the top. Stay on that slider, but bring your feet into a parallel position. Your left foot is parallel on the mat and the right foot is parallel with the ball of foot on the slider. Exhale as we bow forward. Left knee comes aligning with big toe, second toe again, and just in front of the ankle crease. Inhale to bring it to 2 straight legs. Exhale as you glide back. Inhale as you bring it up. Now we're gonna add that arm rotation. So we're gonna take the right arm up and around as we exhale, lowering down. Inhale as we come up to 2 straight legs. Exhale as we lower down, taking that arm rotation, plugging the arm into the middle back. Inhale as we bring it up. Exhaling as we circle around. Let's hold this last one. We're gonna bring the right arm just alongside the ear, plugging it down into the middle back for 3, for 2, and bring it all the way up to standing. All right, we're gonna go into our long bridge booty taps, WundaBooty taps, I should say. We're gonna take the hands off the edge of the mat, feet are in first position, heels touching, toes turned out, and legs are gonna stay long. We're gonna lift the body up into a bridge position. Again, we're gonna recruit the glutes to send the pelvis up to the top of the bridge, and then think about a very long spine as you crease at the front side of the hips to tap the sitting bones down, collarbones stay wide, and we're going to inhale to lift and lengthen. It can be really easy here to jut your chin forward and get things really wonky through the cervical spine, through the top of your neck. So we want to do our best to keep our head in line with our spine as we extend, lifting off of the elbows and the shoulders, and deeply creasing at the hips as we find length in the pelvis to lower down. We're inhaling, finding breath, finding the activation of the glutes to raise us up, and then we're exhaling, we're deeply creasing as we lower back down, finding breath in the elbows, try not to lock out into the joints. Inhale as we hold the last one up for 5, for 4, we're smiling, for 3, for 2, with control, we're creasing at the front side of the hips and setting it back down. Good news, you made it. Woo. All right, we're gonna go into a downward facing dog with some rotations to the spine to finish it out, stretching through the body. Hands come wide onto the mat, step your feet back 4 inches apart parallel, and slide back into a pike position. We are going to bend the right knee, pick the right foot up off the floor, and rotate the pelvis open. I like to keep the knee bent. It is less pressure on the low back. You can think about the left heel melting down to the floor. Think about lengthening through all sides of the spine. Unwind, bring your right foot back down. We're now in a centered position. Left knee bends, left foot picks up. Open the pelvis to the side. Right heel melts down. Opening through the front side of the left hip. Bring it back through center. Take a long inhale to add space between the vertebra and your spine. Exhaling as you allow both knees to come down to the mat. Congratulations, it looks like you now are the proud owner of a WundaBooty.